Hey everybody, how's it going? So, New World's beta just opened up. Now, I'm a little late to the game here, so I kind of got into it on the 24th, so I was able to kind of get in and play on that day. Um, but overall, the experience has been so good. I was completely not expecting this style of game to be coming out anytime soon because really the only game that we've been seeing like this so far has been Ashes of Creation. And I feel like New World is starting to become a pretty good contender for what people are looking for in a game like what they're seeing right now, because the flow of the game is really good. I'm feeling right now. The flow of the game feels really good. I can't say enough about the intro, because the way you want to get gripped into the game is pretty good, I would say. A neat little story intro, epic animations going off. You get on your ship and you're going off to the new world. It doesn't take a whole lot of backstory. It's just really getting you into the grip of the game. So let's talk about the intro here. How they're going to introduce you to the game, pretty much. The tutorial is what I'm mainly wanting to say. The tutorial is really well thought out. I feel like they give you everything you need to know to be successful. Like, there is no oh, you gotta play the game in alpha in order to get this. I feel like in a lot of games, take Conan Exiles for instance, because in my personal opinion, I feel like this is everything Conan Exiles strived to be, but failed in so many ways. This game, it just feels like the best ever version of what Conan Exiles tried to be. You've got the crafting, you've got the survival-ish. I'm not gonna say it's a full-on survival game. It's not. It's a good balance between, not being hardcore. Like, I'm glad after playing all these hardcore games, I'm kind of almost sick of them at this point. So we can finally get a chance to play a game that feels satisfying to play. I feel like you can't say that enough, as this game is satisfying to play. So back onto the tutorial here. I know I got a little off topic here, but the tutorial here, it grips you in. Everything you need to know. The combat flows pretty well. Now, the free targeting system, I like it, but as a lot of people have noticed, it's hard to PvP with because you run at the same speed and several things like that. But that's on the PvP side, and this game is not PvP focused. I will say, I think it's kind of added in, and I think that later on you'll see it balanced a lot more, weapon-wise, and specifically for the weapons in PvP, rather than both of them being mixed up together with PvP and PvE. So the tutorial grips you in. You get a good feel of the crafting. You get a good feel of going through and experiencing what you're going to need to do from start to pretty much the end game. It's killing quest, farming. You get a little bit of, you got to go skin animals, you got to mine rocks, you have to chop trees down, and the leveling system in this game for each of those is a lot like, and a lot of people were even talking about it in chat too, was that it was kind of like RuneScape. And I can't really deny that, but I haven't really played a whole lot of RuneScape in the past. So, but I have seen how the leveling system a little bit works, and I can definitely see how it's like that, and it's satisfying. And I can't say that enough about this game so far. It feels satisfying to play. So, now the story a little bit, it's neat. I haven't really paid a whole lot of attention to it. I might whenever the beta is over and I'm playing on the release date. I know that's kind of backwards from what some people will probably be doing, but it's whatever. So the story, you're gonna kind of blow by it a little bit and want to get into the main grip of the PvE PvP system that they've got going on here. So you can also choose to, in this game, to not PvP at all. Like, if you want to PvE, you're perfectly fine to be doing that. And I feel like later on you're going to see a lot of RP servers popping up, and this game's probably going to be pretty good to RP on. I can definitely see this game being a role player's dream. The way you can buy houses, the way that you can be the governor of the cities, factions taking over. This game will probably be pretty good to roleplay in, especially for the dedicated player base. Now, with the player base in mind, I will say what this game is going to attract is going to be completely different than what I think a whole lot of people are expecting this game to be. This game is not for the competitive people. This game is not for the people who want to get their adrenaline rush. You know, you're not going to be getting a whole lot of that in this game. I will be saying that much. Because this game is going to be geared towards dedicated players and like casual players. Because sure, you get to take over towns, you get to take over all of this. But in the end, though, that's just, you don't even have to really deal with any of that at all. You know, you can just skip all of that, and a lot of people are probably going to be doing that. The hardcore PvPers are going to be trying to take over the towns, but there's only going to be so much to that, and I feel like that's not what this game is going to be completely geared towards. Is the people who want to run around and pull off the Ark, the Rust, and just blow everything up and take everything. There's only going to be so much satisfaction you're going to be able to get from that, because number one, you can't take other people's loot that you kill, at least that I've seen. If you die, I at least only died in PvE. You know, I only got to level up to level 15, and I did that in about 6 hours. And that was a lot of goofing around too. That was a lot of, I'm gonna go try and find whatever quest I can get the most experience out of. I went to the mission board kind of after the main story quest. Well, actually guide you to the mission board, which is probably where you're gonna be getting most of your experience and how you're going to be leveling up crafting, and a lot of those are going to be helping you level up. Like, you want to be doing missions that are not just one specific thing. You want to be doing as many missions as you possibly can, because that's going to be what's going to be helping you in the end game. And now, a little bit onto the pacing of the game. The pacing feels solid, because I can't say this enough about other games that do this, because I remember I ran into this problem in Guild Wars whenever you got your, you were leveling up, but leveling up crafting and leveling up your character at the same time was so difficult. I mean, you had to really go out of the beaten path, mine the ore, then you had to level up that crafting to continuously keep getting the nodes as you leveled up. In this game, it is so easy to just farm trees for a little bit, farm rocks for a little bit. The missions guide you to that specific task of leveling up your skills as you level up. Like, I really enjoy that aspect. I feel like that really gears towards the casual players that are going to be playing this game. You know, I don't feel like people are going to be rushed playing this game, and I like that. Like, you know, in several other games, kind of like Final Fantasy, for instance, you know, you kind of want to get to the end game, because that's where all the juicy dungeons are, the competitive dungeoning and the hardcore modes, getting the best gear. I don't think people are going to be as rushed playing this game as they are others. Now, you're going to see people all over getting as high level as they can, and let them do that. Sure, yeah, let them do that. You know, they might be the governor of the town for a little bit, but in my opinion, with the competitive people, I'm thinking, my predictions, the competitive people are not going to be playing this game as much. The casual players are probably going to take a little while, and I think that's going to be more of the player base. That's going to be more of the player base, so it's going to take them a while longer to get to max level, or whatever the level requirement is to contribute to the wars and all of that stuff. I think it's going to take a little while longer for them to do that. So that's a little bit of why I think the game's going to be slower paced. I will say this game will die down in population. I have no doubt. I hate to say this, but this game is not going to hold a whole lot of people's attention. I think this game will eventually die down to about 10 to 20,000 players total. For some reason, that's just how I feel about it, because I've played games like this, and they get the first initial month, and they're done. They get the first month of this game done, and then they're like, man, that's kind of all there is to it right now. I just don't feel like I'm getting enough continuous enjoyment out of the game. And I feel like this game for a lot of people is going to be that way. So I got a feeling you're going to see a lot of the aspects of this game, because they're simple. And I feel like it's meant to be simple, because there's so much to it. There is so much to this game that a lot of people are going to skip over. They're going to be like, man, I just want to go combat. Well, have you ever thought about crafting? Have you ever thought about harvesting? Have you ever thought about trying to gear up a city and get involved with your faction? You know, you know, there's a lot to work towards, and I love that. There's so many weapons to get involved with. Well, I should say there's 11, but inside each of those, there's different things to do. You know, there's 2 different trees. You know, you've got how you want to spec out your character, how much in crafting you want to be specializing in. There's just so much good stuff in this game that is just overall broad banning simplistic. You know, it's the crafting simple, the harvesting simple, the combat, I hate to say it, is kind of simple. You know, you get your 3 abilities, you get your heavy, your dodge, and a lot of people have been comparing this to Dark Souls. I think that's total bull malarkey. I think that is, no. I think you can't just compare a game to Dark Souls because it has a dodge in the game. I hate to say that. You know, if you compare a game to Dark Souls because there's dodging in it, then Guild Wars 2 is, you know, Dark Souls. You know, so don't say that. I gotta admit that gets on my nerves whenever I hear something like that. Like, come on, there's dodging in a lot of games. All right, let's not sit here and think that Dark Souls was the first person to come up with dodging at all. Okay, or an action bar, or a health bar, or potions. Okay, there are the games who have done that before, believe it or not. Yes. So that's just my little spiel on that. Won't say that. So overall though, it took me. I feel like the leveling system's paced well. Really enjoy it. The what else is there? Because there's all. I feel like there's just at level 15. Now I will say you can kind of get lost a little bit in the You can get lost in where to go to level because it's not really sectioned out well, in my opinion, the map or where they guide you to level. Because I went to one of the story quests that was like level 14, I believe, and there were like level 30s or level 20s on the way there, and I was like, this doesn't seem right. Am I going to the right location? Yeah, actually I was. Now, I was supposed to teleport, but I didn't have enough whatever the currency was to teleport there, so I had to walk there, and that ended up being a long journey, to say the least. Some of the quest pacing, like where you go from one quest to the next, kind of sucks. If there were mounts, I hope mounts are going to be in this game. I have not had one yet. I haven't seen anyone else have one, but mounts are going to be so crucial. I hope it's not horse combat from Conan Exiles, because that will just get annoying. I do not want to see that happen. But overall, though, I'm really impressed with the beta. You would have had me confused if this game was finished or not. You would have had me completely confused. So I feel like people focusing on maybe the combat right now and the story being weak, in my opinion, I would say take a look at the game as a whole right now. There is a lot to offer here. You know, they had a lot of things they worked on in this game to make it this good. Look at how I haven't crashed once. I haven't had a 1% low yet. I should say maybe a little bit, but I'm running this game on high right now, and my rig is a 3070 with a 5800X and 32 gigabytes of RAM. You know, 3200 megahertz. I've got a solid rig, and I feel like a game that is brand new like this, you know, you can never run a game at high and keep your FPS running well. And I was also recording, and I was also streaming it to the Discord. So, you know, I never lagged, or I should say stuttered once. And, I mean, I love that. You know, a lot of good optimization in this game. Lots of good optimization in this game. But, alright, the video's gone on long enough. I won't take any more of your time. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I know we haven't posted in a while, but I've been kind of in between switching jobs and everything, so getting out of college hasn't been the easiest experience of my life, but getting to it, and hopefully, I think in 3 weeks, I would have moved into a new apartment, so you'll be seeing more videos coming out from me. So that's all we got from here for you today. Thank you so much for watching again, and stay frosty.